Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Northblood. We're cranking out plenty of New Japan content. While I'm at home, I've got 2 days left at my parents' house before I move back into my place. So I'm trying to get out as much content as I can. The Wi-Fi is going into my new place soon, though. So as soon as the Wi-Fi is in my new place, the content will come out more cleanly. I'm also thinking about when I'm able to putting out content on specific days, just to kind of keep myself to a schedule. But that's in the future. We're talking about the present. Another New Japan video, a little bit different from the last two. We currently are obviously in the process of the New Japan Cup. However, working it out with the next few matches, I'm not going to go down and show you the matches. I've got them pre-booked, but I don't want to show you. I don't want to show you the pre-bookings because it'll reveal who wins. But what you can see right now, we have nothing pre-booked, simply because we're having 2 matches night 8, 2 matches night 9, 2 matches night 10, and the final on the final day. So we kind of have a break from the New Japan Cup action. I did think about putting this on night 10 and having kind of like a break and then they wrestle again. But I thought, put it at the end of the second round. Let everyone calm down for a bit. But this isn't just going to be a throwaway episode. This is going to be there's stuff to watch, because for the first time in this save, our IWGP double champion Tetsuya Naito will be competing against one Christopher Jericho. We've got. I noticed. I wanted to first of all have Naito in a match because we just haven't yet. He's been involved in segments and has swirled around storylines, most notably the storyline involving Evil and Sonata, which isn't in high gear yet. But we've got to. I feel like we've got to use him. We've got to have him in something. He's our double champ. He needs to be on the shows, and we've got Chris Jericho on the roster. So I figured our number one guy at the moment versus a huge name in the world of professional wrestling. Chris Jericho, I believe, is only on our roster for another couple months. Chris Jericho. Not Chris Bay, sorry, Chris Jericho. He is annoyed, probably, at why the fuck was Shibata pissing off Chris Jericho? Fucking hell. The Shibata thing really pissed me off. I left a comment because this guy was saying I could have just removed him from the inner circle. I really wanted to, but if you go back, I believe, to episode 4 of New Japan Save, around 29 minutes in, I'm trying to remove him from the inner circle and it just won't show up his name for whatever reason, so I couldn't just remove him. I googled it. Google said I can go into Shibata's profile and remove him that way. I tried doing that and he wasn't showing up either. He was showing up, the head of talent relations thing wasn't showing up. So I just had to fire him. But he pissed Jericho off as well, which is strange. We've got Jericho for... It doesn't say a contract. On loan till the 30th of May. So not too long. We probably... I don't even think we're going to use him. I feel like this might be our only use of Chris Jericho, so it's got to be a good match. Naito versus Jericho, hopefully they can put in a shift. What I'm worried about is his stamina. How's his stamina doing? Because he's 49 here. Where's his stamina? Why can't I see it? His stamina's not bad. We should be fine. But like I said, no New Japan Cup action tonight. Only one night of action. So the video will be a little bit shorter, but I feel like it's going to work. We have the big matchup. I should have probably built up to the last few episodes, having like teasers or something, but I didn't. So here we are. We're just springing this huge match onto the fans. Naito versus Jericho, but I feel like it'll go well. Plus, it gives us a little bit of a break, a little bit of cool down from the New Japan Cup action. So I'm going to stop talking now. I'm going to stop waffling on. User here for the action, so I will bring it. Let's get into it. And here we are, starting off with the pre-show as usual. I feel like I'm quite excited for this episode of the New Japan Cup, but this night, of the New Japan Cup. But I feel like the more excited I am, the more I gas it up, the more embarrassing it'll be if it fails. We've got some projects, of course, on the pre-show. Yota Tsuji taking on Alex Coughlin. Alex Coughlin winning in 10 minutes by submission. Yota Tsuji still lagging slightly behind, but we are just trying to build him up to become the beast that he would eventually become. I'm big on Yota Tsuji. I feel like everyone is, and rightfully so. He's a hell of a performer, hell of a character worker. So we're definitely trying to build him up. Alex Coughlin, he could easily be cracking the 40s, I feel, hopefully by the end of the year. So he could definitely do well. But a 30 overall, just a standard Young Lions match. Nothing too crazy going on. The next one, a bit more in-depth with two of our kind of pre-show stables going at it. I feel like all the other stables are just normal stables. These stables, the Rascals and the New Foundation, are the guys who were keeping in the pre-show, just trying to get some exposure. But the New Foundation, Davey Boy Smith Jr. and the Von Erich brothers taking on Trey Miguel, Desmond Xavier, and Zachary Wentz, with the New Foundation getting the win. Davey Boy Smith getting the pin, obviously being the more experienced. Davey Boy Smith obviously had the highest. Desmond X done really, really well. Could keep an eye on that because a 41 he could so easily be main card with performances like that. And with the best of the Super Juniors around the corner, could we be seeing Desmond X in best of the Super Juniors? Maybe. It's always worth looking into. If you can keep banging in performances like that, I don't have any problem with it. Ross and Marshall Von Erich in the mid-30s, round about where we need them to be. We just need to keep elevating them. Zachary Wentz, strangely enough, struggled. He didn't struggle too badly, but he was the weakest one, which is strange. But overall, for a pre-show match, a 42, banging. We'll take it. And last match on the pre-show, we're operating the same as usual. 3 pre-show matches followed by I think we've got 5 main matches on the main show. I might be wrong. I think it's 5. But the last match on our pre-show is same rating. Gabe Kidd versus Hiroyoshi Tenzan. Didn't have much heat and had terrible wrestling. Strangely enough, that'll be Gabe Kidd not doing too well. It says during the match we had Gabe Kidd turn on Hiroshi Tenzan. Not the case at all. He is turning face on Tenzan. Basically, Tenzan gets the win, obviously being the established guy. And like we mentioned in the last video we saw Tenzan and Gabe Kidd working as a team. We mentioned them being a pairing of Young Lion and vet. So I figured, why not? After the match, Gabe Kidd, who usually would be showing heel tendencies, has a hand outstretched, which is met by Tenzan. They shake hands. Tenzan gives Gabe Kidd that kind of endorsement, and they become a proper on-screen pairing, just to help Gabe Kidd's performances a bit. Because at 28, we really need them to get a bit better. So Tenzan is going to carry their matches. Gabe Kidd is going to benefit from Tenzan's knowledge. And there we go. A 42. It says the wrestling rating was terrible, but 38. It's not the best, but it could always be worse. And the crowd are starting to get into things, which is good. But that is the end of the pre-show. Going off air, ending with Tenzan and Gabe Kidd with hands raised. But let's get into the main card. So starting off, we have a very interesting matchup. Shotaro Ashino taking on Kenta in the usual technical match. Kenta getting the win this time with a Busaiku knee. Kenta kicking ass as usual. Kenta's doing so good in this save. We really need to start. We need to get some gold on him. We really do, because he needs to be rewarded for these performances. He is killing it. And Shotaro Ashino, for I believe his second match in the company, getting a 55. Absolute legend. It says here, the unfinished business storyline has advanced with this segment. The unfinished business storyline was originally that one involving Kenta and Katsuyori Shibata, with Shibata leaving the company or being fired. We are replacing him with Ashino. Ashino is now going up against Kenta. And what a way to start it off. A 69. Good heat, decent wrestling. There's not much to say about it. At the end of the match, we've put it as a angle. We need to keep Kenta on a script. That happened the last time we had him in a segment, but I forgot to note it down. It's very similar to the angle with Tenzan and Kidd. However, there's no shaking of hands. After the match, Kenta is celebrating. He gets off the turnbuckle and turns around, and Ashino, the big brick shithouse, is just in the middle of the ring. The two guys exchange kind of a glare, and then Ashino rolls out of the ring. Just teasing a bit. They are definitely going to clash later on down the line. Segment could have done better. We really need... I'm writing it in my phone at the moment. We need to keep Kenta on script. There we go. Just so we know for next time we put him in a angle, we remember that so it doesn't get penalized. After this, in a banging match, a lot going on. We have the Suzuki-gun team of Taichi and Zack Sabre Jr. with El Desperado and Yoshinobu Kanemaru taking on Roppongi Represent, the four main guys of Roppongi Represent, Sho, Yo, Juice, and David Finlay. We have our junior heavyweight tag champs and our heavyweight tag champs taking on Suzuki-gun representatives, in which Suzuki-gun came out on top when Zack Sabre Jr. submitted Yo. I kind of wanted to give Roppongi Represent the win, but I feel like storyline-wise, it made more sense to give Zack Sabre Jr. the win. Roppongi Represent officially debut as the kind of party-loving fan favourites up against the kind of stone-faced Suzuki-gun. I feel like all of these men are going to be interlinked in the next month, so this is getting it started in terms of in-ring, where Zack Sabre Jr. was head and shoulders above everyone else, and I'm seeing down here Yo was off his game. Zack Sabre Jr. with a 70, Lush, Kanemaru and Despi on a 48-49. Taichi with a 47. Yo was really off his game and was on a 50, so very strange. Juice with a 58. We can definitely build on that. I figured Juice was going to be the best on his team because he is the best on his team. And David Finlay, I was expecting David Finlay to do a lot worse than that. So I'm not mad. I'm not mad at all. Gets some of these guys I hadn't used in the playthrough before. Finjuice I hadn't used before in the save. So it's good to get a gauge on where they're going. Juice Robinson doing well. We definitely have plans for him. David Finlay, we don't have plans for him, but with a comfortable result like that, we can definitely use him down the line. After this, in a match which I was expecting a bit more from, I probably shouldn't have expected more from it, because it is Bandito's debut going up against Will Ospreay, but I figured put Bandito and Will Ospreay, it should be the match of the night. I think it is currently the match of the night, but I was expecting a major boost. That might just be me being stupid. But Will Ospreay gets the win. We debut Bandito as well. Will Ospreay kind of needed to be on this show because it's a big show in terms of storyline advancements, and to have our biggest storyline, Will Ospreay's heel turn, not involved would have been silly. And we needed to debut Bandito just to see how well he'd fare. He fared really well. A 58, the same as Juice Robinson in the last match. We're very happy with that. And Will Ospreay with a 78, one of our best in-ring workers, without a doubt at all. The match suffered due to its booking. There wasn't enough time for a slow build approach. I thought I pressed all out match. I obviously did. I really need... you know what? Next episode, I'm going to wear my glasses. Because every time I go to press all out, it goes slow build. And when I try to press slow build, it goes all out. So... And every time it gets penalized, and I'm like, how did this happen? I know how it happened. I'm a dickhead. But we sweep that under the rug. Bandito, it's a successful debut, putting up against a guy we clearly have big faith in. But yeah, after the match, we have Will Ospreay. I'm going to break down the whole angle. So in part one, Will Ospreay's working the crowd, Bandito off screen. Basically, Will Ospreay's just celebrating. Bandito's down and out. The refs are checking on him, what have you. But Will Ospreay is up on the kind of turnbuckle, talking his shit. Of course, got a 54. Struggled going off script. We just need to keep him on a script then. Then Kazuchika Okada attacks Will Ospreay, taking him off the turnbuckle, landing a few punches in when the leader of the Bullet Club comes running down to make the save, Jay White. He kind of fights off Okada, ending the segment, putting him down with a switchblade. Then, the more important part, the final part of the segment, Jay White looks up at Will Ospreay. Will Ospreay kind of has taken the black t-shirt that he was given last week, and he kept it in his corner at ringside. Jay White unravels the t-shirt to say the two important words, Bullet Club, we all knew that was coming, and extends it to Will Ospreay. Will Ospreay takes it. Jay White raises his hand, and then Jay White goes to celebrate on the turnbuckle, and bang, just as he's about to turn up the turnbuckle, Will Ospreay hits him with the hidden blade elbow. I really did. I was really close to pulling the trigger and having Will Ospreay in the Bullet Club. I feel like it works. He's a big guy, Gene. Going from the junior division into the heavyweight division, it would have worked, but I feel like the Bullet Club's all right as it is. I don't want them to get too crowded. So Will Ospreay rejects the Bullet Club. He's rejected Chaos. What is Will Ospreay cooking? I feel like if you've noticed some of the signings we've made, you know what he's cooking. But like, just pretend you don't. Just turn a blind eye to that. Suspend your disbelief. And finally, to end the night with a hell of a fucking match, Tetsuya Naito defends both his titles against Chris Jericho in a fucking banging match. Jericho put the work in, and Tetsuya Naito retains both belts. 25 minutes winning with a Destino. They stole the show, definitely. That's without a doubt our best match so far. 80 rated. Naito with an 89. Just showing how fucking great he is. Jericho with a 61. Not even the best rating from Jericho. If we put Naito in there with a Will Ospreay or a Kota Ibushi or whatever, it could have been a lot better. But I feel like it wouldn't have made any sense storyline wise. Naito gets a big win over a big name and defends both belts. The match dragged at the end too long for the workers to keep going an all-out pace. I didn't press all out. It's happened again. I didn't press out. I pressed slow build. Because I know I checked it, but I wasn't sure if Jericho's stamina would be there. I was meant to press slow build. I did not press slow build. And Chris Jericho was visibly tiring towards the end. If I pressed slow build, it could have done even better. But who knows? I'm nitpicking. That's a great match. And a great way to get Naito's kind of title reigns going. Crowd loved it. Wrestling wasn't the best, but it was valid. And I believe that will have massively benefited the show. Our best show yet, a 76. We're getting red ratings in all the regions, but I'm very happy with this episode. I know, like I said at the start, it's going to be shorter. There's no New Japan Cup action, so it's kind of a break from the New Japan Cup, and it is only one night. I'm not booking 2 nights this time, but I feel like we've got storylines in there. We've got teasers. We've got Taichi and Zack Sabre Jr. seemingly booking themselves a heavyweight tag title shot against Finjuice. We've got, even in the pre-show, we've got Tenzan and Gabe Kidd joining forces. We've got the Foundation and the Rascals in action, and we've got a hell of a main event between Naito and Jericho for both belts as well. It's not part of the New Japan Cup or anything like that, but it's still a very valid show. So I'm happy with it. But that's all for this episode. Like I said, only one night. The next video will be back to 2 nights, and it will be back to the New Japan Cup, in which I believe we'll get through round 3. I think so. Or would it be? It'll be the quarterfinals. I think it's the quarterfinals of the New Japan Cup. But that's next video. As it is all for this video. I hope you've enjoyed. I hope you're excited about some of the stuff we've got cooking up. And I hope you're kind of seeing what we're doing with Will Ospreay. Which might be a mistake, but it's all live and learn. Anyway, I'll stop talking now. I'll let you guys crack on with your day. I hope you've enjoyed the video. I hope you're enjoying the New Japan save. I love. I really appreciate the engagement you're showing the New Japan series. It's doing really well viewership wise. It's doing really well likes wise. So I really do appreciate it. The comments as well. I read them all. So please comment who you think I should bring in, who you think I should have teaming up together. It's all appreciated. But for now, I'll let you guys get on with your day. Peace.